Всем привет, с вами Даша, и мы продолжаем играть в ВиллиМорганипроклятиеБоун-Тауна. Так, и нам надо что-то сделать с чем-то, чтобы, он как бы смог поменять ключ. Вот вопрос, что сделать-то? Серьезно? Окей. Пошлите внутрь.
It is used to warn that the floor is wet. I don't know what's inside this bucket, but from the smell, I'd say something that isn't alive anymore. The things I have to do. Let's just hope it doesn't spill. I wouldn't really know what to use to get rid of this stink. Very good. It looks like the cleaning has finally started.
Да, конечно.
Just how I pictured it.
Начнет.
I'd rather not. I still don't know how to get rid of the stench of this thing from the bag. I'd rather not touch that substance. I don't want to take it with me. This seems to be the perfect place for it. And now something classy. The contents haven't changed, but now there's a fresh musk ox scent. After all the work I did to give it a decent fragrance? No way.
И что? Давайте позовем его. Типа он свалится, он просто обойдет это. Или он будет ждать там.
Agile and silent like a ninja. I didn't even realize the cleaning lady finally got to work. Better not walk across it. I'd risk ruining this beautiful work. Oh, she also added the essence of muskox. My favorite. I'll go around the back. That guy's gonna have to wait for a second.
Nobody's coming. Better go check the entrance.
Ну, пошлите.
This is my chance.
Только вместо него. А, ты не хочешь менять? Окей. Ну, пошлите. Дальше. Он явно уже пришел. Нет, его нет.
Let's hope there won't be any other obstacles. At last! It's the bathroom door. At least this one seems to function. Everything starts there, in the warmth of a friendly place. I think my father meant warmth in a literal sense. Perhaps he hid something in the fireplace. Let's try searching there. What is this? This brick doesn't seem to be bonded to the fireplace like all the others, but I can't rip it out. It seems after all these years it is partially calcified back into the fireplace. I need something to grab hold of the cracks.
Как хорошо, что он ничего не нажал-то.
They're apple cores. They really leave much to be desired as a welcome gift. I don't trust taking them. There's the chance they could have been eaten by mice, the owner of the place, or the cleaning lady. In any of the three cases, I don't want to take them with me. In this room, they seem to have taken one step ahead in technology. No rope to pull.
Так, пока не будем нажимать.
Tradition tells us it's better not to spy on showers with the curtain closed. Tough luck. Fate really doesn't want me to take a shower or a bath. They seem to have invested a lot in the guest's hygiene. I don't need it right now. It's a drawer. Look what's inside. Somebody forgot a nail file. Better take it. It could come in handy.
Конечно, пригодится. Так, ладно, давайте нажмем.
That doesn't seem like a good idea. If the owner finds out I entered room 09, I don't think he'll be happy. If anything happens to me, the Dead Man Inn has no insurance to cover the damages.
Вот и славно, что ты отказался.
I can't do this. Maybe the temperature variations made it stick. I need some help. It seems to be working. I can take out the mortar holding the brick. Clever, a niche. Let's see what's inside. It looks like an old library card. It belonged to my father, Henry Morgan. Last read book, Properties of Concrete. What did my father want to tell me? It's a card for the Bonetown Library. The card belongs to Henry Morgan, my father. Let's see the last read book, Properties of Concrete. What was he working on in his final research? Better go to the library to make some inquiries.
Окей. Пошлите, значит, в библиотеку.
After this amazing night, it'd be better to go back to my room and rest. First, I'd rather take the key to room 09 back to reception. I'd prefer to avoid having problems with the innkeeper. I have a really big day ahead of me tomorrow. I think the time has come to find out what Dad was working on. I better check the library card again. I'm sure Dad left me some other clue.
Ну, пошлите. Опять-таки в библиотеку.
Better leave the key here. I don't know if I'll want to avail myself of this service again tonight.
Окей.
I guess it's a good idea to ask for directions to the library. I wouldn't want to wander aimlessly through Bonetown. Excuse me, I need some information. Is there still a public library here in Bonetown?
Sure, boy. It's one of the crown jewels of Bones-Town. At least it is according to what Margaret, our librarian, tells us. I'm simply reporting what's said because I personally never go to such places.
Strange, I would have bet the opposite. Could you tell me where it is?
Turn left at the main square, just outside the door. Boy, if you don't want to get lost, use this. It's an old Bones-Town postcard, but it was used as a tourist map during the golden years. It could be of use to orient yourself and move around Bones-Town.
Thank you.
Are you interested in something in particular?
Just to reminisce a little bit. My father used to take me there all the time. Thanks.
This and more for a paying customer.
I better be going now.
Ну, пошли. Теперь есть карта. Мы здесь. А, мы типа можем потом перемещаться. Окей. Если это так.
The innkeeper said the library is on the left, starting from the square. I better solve the clue left by my father first.
Так.
It looks new. I don't need it. It's the front door of Bonetown's library.
Погодь, так рано.
Wow, there are some extremely rare first editions here. better not. It's like seeing my house. Even if I picked everything up, then it would suffer the same fate in our closet at home. At first glance, there seem to be different tomes, some of which have considerable value too. I wonder why they're out here. I don't want to take anything from here. It's still material in the public domain.
Так, плакаты.
It's one of those old message boards on which they hung the wanted posters. Here in Bonetown, time seems to have stopped. There are still posters of the gang that was raging here decades ago. The members have become famous. I recognize the posters of Rufy, Nami, and Zoro. The others are faded from exposure to bad weather. There's also a little footnote. Posters offered by the Lafitte Amusement Park. I don't need them.
Все же пошел. Я думала, ты не пойдешь.
It's the public library of Bonetown. I never imagined it would have survived, given the state of the town. I don't think I need this kind of souvenir.
Давайте пока в библиотеку не будем заходить.
It says to follow the arrow to access the museum. I didn't know that Bonetown had a museum too, especially a museum in this obscure alley. It looks like it was installed recently. I understand that copper has become precious, but I don't think it'd go unnoticed. It wouldn't be nice if I took the only street sign for the local museum. I have a strong feeling that if I did it, I'd put the entire town economy in danger, and Bonetown doesn't seem like it's experiencing its golden age. They're barrels filled with water. I don't think that dragging this barrel of over 100 liters would benefit me a lot. One-Eyed Jack Restaurant. The name is catchy, the sign much less so. I don't know what's worse, the chicken wings used as bones at the sides of the skull, or the general state of the sign. Everything here is going to the dogs. I wonder what happened to the city. It wasn't always like this. It's like an ancient artifact, in poor condition. Touching it would surely mean damaging it, even though time has already done its part. If I had to guess, there are more than 100 chicken dishes. I may be wrong, but I think the owner specializes in cooking chicken every possible way. I don't see how the complete menu of the One-Eyed Jack would help me. Menu of the day: chicken, or chicken and salad, or chicken, salad, and cheese. While for drinks, there's only grog. I don't need it. I don't think there are any books here. Even if it's battered, I think I can make out the word restaurant. It's not time to enter there yet. I need to use the clue left by my dad first. It's the entrance to one of the typical restaurants of Bonetown. Maybe let's say the most rustic.
Сюда ты тоже тогда не будешь заходить? Домкрат.
It's one of the most modern objects I've seen in Bonetown so far. I don't know how, but I hope it might come in handy. It seems like the propeller of an old vessel. There's also some writing. Flying Dutchman. I don't think it's that Flying Dutchman. At first glance, it appears to weigh over 100 kilos. Surely working out in the gym made me stronger, but I don't think it performed any miracles. It's the sign for a museum. I don't know what interesting stuff there is to see. It's not specified on the sign. I can't see the opening time either. Dark alley, ambiguous sign, no opening time for the public, and an old open door. I like it. I can't reach it. I can't see what's inside. I better get in. There's a sign with the word museum, which rules out the possibility that it's a library. I'll go back there later. Now I have to find a way to obtain the volume Properties of Concrete from the library.
Окей. Пошлите тогда в библиотеку. Угу.
For such a small town, there are a lot of books. It's not my priority right now. A well-stocked library, but it would be a lot of work to put it in order. I have no time to fix other people's things too. If in the future I have to conduct some new research, there are some tomes here that you can't easily find in other libraries. I'm not doing any research in particular right now. It seems to be a very old crate. This lock is peculiar, to say the least. I'm pretty sure that I'd need a special key if I wanted to open it.
Так, открой его.
It's the famous book, Properties of Concrete, the last book read by my father. It's stuck under the huge number of books on the desk. I must find a way to free it. On this desk, there are books of every kind, from how to build a cuckoo clock to anchovy fishing for newbies. How? Should I remove everything on top of it? There's no time. And above all, I wouldn't know where to put all these books. This lock is It doesn't work. A peculiar key is needed, or something that could force this lock. I don't think it's useful like this.
Домкратом можно книгу заменить
I
книгу.
should use it on the book.
Хорошо, на стул.
Let's try. It worked. Check out what we have here.
Это у нас... Да. У нас
Interesting.
там...
There's a hiding place inside the book. I understand why Dad chose this tome. It's the only one in the whole library that nobody would read, but also the only one thick enough to contain something.
Книги-то и нет. Ну или вырезано под
Let's see
книгу.
what it is. It's another letter from my father. It's dated July 22nd, 2008, earlier than the other one. There's also a piece of paper that seems more ancient, but I can't figure out what it is. Better take a look right now. If Dad did all this so that I'd find it, there must be something important. Now I understand what the piece of paper was that I found with the letter. Dad always performed great feats, but I never imagined he was looking for kids' treasure. It has always been said that it was basically a legend. I don't remember the complete story exactly, but maybe the librarian can help me. And I have a list of names. Better start asking information of the townsfolk, without attracting too much attention. I don't need my father's old library card anymore. Even if someone found it, it would be useless. I have the letter and the piece of map belonging to my dad.
Так,
They're the stairs that lead back down. There's also an upper floor.
давайте поговорим с ней.
It's a piece of the map belonging to Captain Kidd, but I can't do anything with it if I don't find all the other 8 pieces as well. I think it's the person running the library. Good morning.
Good morning. How can I help you?
What happened to Bonetown in the last few years?
The city has always held more allure at the expense of the small villages, and Bonetown is no exception. All the young people left when they had the chance, leaving the town in its current sorry state. It seems you know our town well, although you're so young. Can I ask your name?
Of course. I'm Willy Morgan.
I'm Margaret. Margaret Teach. But for those who attend the library, I'm just Margaret. Once there was a Morgan here in Bonetown too. Then he left, seeking fortune, and he became famous. But he never stopped coming back to visit Bonetown. I don't think you know him.
You mean Henry Morgan by any chance?
You surprise me, and that doesn't happen often.
The point is, I know him very well. Henry was my father.
I'm sorry, kid, I didn't know.
Don't worry, it's been a while.
10 years ago, right?
How do you know that?
Kid, I'm the librarian. I basically remember everything that is put on paper, and Henry used to come to our library a lot.
Do you know anything about his disappearance?
Unfortunately, only what I've read about. One night he was here in Bonetown. The morning after, it's like he vanished into thin air. Not a clue, not a trace. No letters or anything that could have guided the search parties to a solution.
Do you know what he was working on in his final research?
I don't know. He always read a lot, basically all the tomes you can find in here. And sometimes at his request, I had to order books from other cities as well.
Do you know if he had enemies, maybe?
Henry? Let's be serious. I think there were very few men as affable as him.
Thanks for the information.
Don't mention it. If I can be of any more help, just ask.
How come all across Bonetown the gutters seem to be new?
They are new. There's been some geological instability in the last few years. We don't know yet if it's due to natural causes or human activity. In any case, the result is that Bonetown no longer has a working water network, and the only way to retrieve some water at a decent cost seems to be this one.
Whose idea was this?
Maybe the only person who really cares about the state of Bonetown, our Mayor Steve Bonnet.
What can you tell me about Steve Bonnet?
He's the only one here doing something to keep Bonetown alive. Without him, our village would be much worse off. I suggest you go visit him. He knows everything about Bonetown. If you need something specific, he'll be able to help you for sure. These days, he lives in the town hall to deal with all the city's problems, but he's always available to everyone.
Thank you. I'll visit him as soon as possible. Am I wrong, or did you tell me your name is Margaret Teach?
That's correct.
Do you know a man named Charles Teach?
Your question surprises me. How do you know my great-great-grandfather?
I'm doing some research on the genealogy of Bonetown, and I stumbled upon the Teach family.
Yes, it's been several generations now since the Teaches settled in Bonetown.
What can you tell me about Charles Teach in particular?
He was the one who brought the name Teach here to Bonetown, but of his past, little is known. My great-grandma told me that he was a former fisherman with a knack for books. This library is a donation he made to the city of Bonetown just before he died. After he arrived here in Bonetown, he devoted himself exclusively to reading, and many of these books were bought directly by him. He had so many of them that he basically founded the town library, which then became the family business for the following generations, too.
And he didn't leave anything else apart from the books?
All he left is stored on the upper floor, but it's mostly junk. The real treasure was his books. There's also an old crate without a key, but it looks empty.
Do you by any chance know the story of Captain William Kidd?
Sure, it is mostly a legend. In the golden era of piracy, Kidd stood out for his endeavors, if you could call them that.
The endeavors of a pirate aren't exactly heroic most of the time.
Anyway, his ship, the Adventure Galley, was supposedly filled with treasures when it suddenly disappeared. A few years later, in 1701, Kidd was captured and executed, but his ship and the crew were never found.
What do you think happened?
What always happened at that time? Kidd and his crew squandered all the loot, and to cover their tracks, they sold or even burned the ship. After this story, Kidd became legendary.
Thank you. What's that old crate upstairs?
It belonged to Charles Teach, a great-great-grandfather of mine. Many years ago, we opened it with the help of a locksmith, but it was empty. Then the key got lost again, and nobody has any interest in it anymore. Maybe the locksmith has a copy of it somewhere. I never feel like throwing it away. It's still a family heirloom after all.
Thanks, and goodbye.
Thank you for visiting the Bonetown Library. If you need a specific book, you can ask me, Miss Teach, or just Margaret.
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind.
Так. Нам надо слесарю, получается.
Very strange. I have the feeling I'm being watched. Better be careful. You never know what can happen in Bonetown.
Вот чё вот этот вот от нас хочет? Непонятно. Берет, следит за нами. Пошлите пока сюда.
It's the restaurant exit. It's a glass case equipped with a lock. It seems there is a sort of fortune cookie inside it. It's a very strong lock. I don't think it can be opened so easily. I need the key. I can't open this case without the right key. The lock seems to be tamper-proof. I think it's the restaurant manager. It's a table. It would be better to ask the owner before taking a seat.
Так, ну давайте с ним поговорим.
Good morning.
Good morning, and welcome to the one-eyed Jack of the Bellamy family.
I glimpsed the menu outside the club. What's your specialty?
Chicken, kid. Delicious, free-range chicken.
Only chicken?
Absolutely, kid. Chicken is our main ingredient. Healthy, genuine, and it's not fattening, so you can eat as much as you want. We Bellamy's have invented more than 100 recipes to serve it with.
A diverse menu, then. How's business going?
Money is not important to the Bellamy's. Our forefather, Eddie Bellamy, left us a little nest egg to pursue our family mission.
And what would that be?
Find the chosen one.
I see there's a free table. Can I take a seat?
It depends.
On what?
That table is reserved for those who want to test themselves.
Can you explain better?
Our family, the Bellamy's, have always looked for the chosen one. And this table can reveal if a person is that or not.
Are you a great-grandson of Eddie Bellamy?
Absolutely, kid. My great-great-great-great-grandfather was the best cook of the 7 seas. He was the one who founded the first one-eyed Jack. And since then, we've come a long way.
Do you mean that you've expanded all over the world?
Absolutely not. Bonetown has always been the one and only place where you can taste one of our delicacies.
Do you mean that you've introduced new original recipes?
Oh, absolutely not. Nobody can improve Grandfather Eddie's recipes. A distant cousin tried to do that, starting his own company, the Mix something. But I haven't heard about it since, so I don't think he had our luck.
Surely not your luck, yeah. I don't get it, but it's okay anyway. What's inside that case? It seems like some kind of fortune cookie.
Kid, that is not a fortune cookie. It's the fortune cookie. The first and most inimitable pastry needed by the skilled hands of Eddie Bellamy and passed down for generations, waiting for the chosen one to come and taste it.
Do you mean that in all these years, nobody was able to earn the right?
Absolutely not. That is the original cookie. Never has another one been baked.
How can you recognize the chosen one?
That'll be the only one who can pass the test.
What test?
The menu, kid. The menu. Only the worthy will listen to the entire menu without blinking an eye. And at that point, he'll have earned the cookie, along with honor and fame.
Very epic. Where does the test take place?
At the table. When you feel ready, take your seat, and we'll see if you might be the chosen one. But don't get your hopes up. We're extremely selective.
Can you tell me about the chosen one again?
The chosen one is the person who, after passing the test, will have the honor of tasting the one and only cookie created by Eddie Bellamy.
Казалось бы, ничего сложного, но, видать, все же надо что-то найти перед тем, как сесть и выслушать меню.
I've seen that all through Bonetown there are new gutters.
Yes, the mayor decided to invest the city's money that way. It's not a bad idea. By channeling the rainwater, the city will ensure some drinkable water.
The mayor?
Yes, Steve Bonnet. He's the man who's been taking care of the city for countless years. Luckily, he's in charge, or Bonetown would already be a ghost city.
Thanks, and goodbye.
Thanks to you, and enjoy your stay in Bonetown.
Ну и в этом печенье, скорее всего, скрыта, опять-таки, часть карты, которая нам надо. В том сундуке, скорее всего, тоже часть карты. Ну и в музее, скорее всего, мы еще одного предка найдем из того списка. И там, опять-таки, что-то будет связанное, где мы можем получить часть карты. Ну, игра вроде как небольшая. Поэтому, возможно, где-то за 4 серии мы ее пройдем. Давайте попробуем все же сесть.
I see you want to prove yourself. When you're ready, call me. I'll be right there.
I feel ready.
Very well, I'm coming. Let's begin the test. We'll soon know if you're the chosen one or just another common person. Our menu includes mushroom chicken, algae chicken, egg chicken, spicy chicken, sweet corn chicken, pepper chicken, olive chicken, chicken and vinegar, blah blah, chicken, blah blah blah, free range, blah 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 blah, herb crusted, blah blah blah. Kid, hey kid, the test is over. I'm sorry. I thought you were different from the others. For now, you're not the chosen one.
And yet I was sure I'd be the one.
Так. Но у нас пока ничего нет. Пошлите в музей.
It's a book on Tom Rayleigh, prominent artist of Bonetown. Prisons, the story of Tom Rayleigh. Maybe it wasn't the publishing success the author hoped. I have no time for this kind of reading right now. There's something written, free. Maybe it will come in handy.
Go ahead and take it. It will open both your heart and your mind. Some stickers to support Tom Rayleigh's cause are included as well. We also need your help to make this artist known.
Thanks. Prisons, the story of Tom Rayleigh. Now I know why this book is free. It seems more like a series of rambling stories instead of a serious biography. Maybe there's just one bit of plausible information. Here it says that Tom Rayleigh's past is dark. He was repeatedly put in prison in Bonetown for being drunk and disorderly. The stickers are nice, but the book is useless to me. I'd rather put this book back in its place. Probably someone else will find it more interesting. Free. It looks like there was a race to the bottom for this volume. I don't think it would come in handy. I'd say it's scary.
It's my handiwork. It seemed to me that the subject respected all the classical canons.
Maybe they're not the same canons I studied at school. I already have a memory that may never be erased from my mind. I don't think I'll need that too.
It's one of the few pieces left by Tom Rayleigh. Ancient sources said that he was a prodigy in cartography drawing, but everything has been lost.
I understand. It's part of the museum exhibition. Better leave it where it is. There's something written on it. For the heirs of Tom Rayleigh.
What do you think you're doing? Have you seen what is written on the envelope? It's the property of Tom Rayleigh's heirs.
But I'm one of his great-grandsons.
I'm a researcher, as well as a capable artist. Bring me concrete proof and you can have the envelope. Until then, the envelope will remain museum property.
I don't think sticking them there would be useful.
Эй, а где тут отца пропуск по типу пропуска в
Based
библиотеку?
on his posture, I think he lives here. I guess he's a sort of janitor or curator of the museum.
Так скажем, карточка.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can I do something for you? I am very busy and I'd hate to lose time.
Are you the museum janitor?
No. I'm the curator, as well as the only artist in Bonetown.
Remarkable. Busy doing what?
Oh, I don't think you'd understand. You don't look like you have an open mind like us artists.
Please, I'm very curious.
No.
Come on, share it with me.
No.
Okay, I don't think it was that important anyway.
Not important. Are you kidding me? My research is, of vital importance for Bonetown and its history.
Research for peace of mind?
Funny.
Finding himself?
No.
What kind of research?
I'm trying to clear the name of one of the most controversial figures of Bonestown.
Who are we talking about?
Tom Rayleigh. He spent almost his whole life in here.
Was he a researcher too?
No. This was a prison once. They say that Rayleigh, because of his alcohol problems, spent most of his sober time in here.
In every town, there's a drunkard.
No. Tom wasn't a drunkard. His artistic life was very troubled. My research proved that.
Have you already done other research on Rayleigh?
Yes. You can find everything about it in the book I wrote on Rayleigh. You can take a copy if you like.
Already done. Very illuminating.
Really? What passage impressed you most?
Practically everything about Tom?
You're already calling Tom. I transmitted empathy, so I've done a good job with the book.
Just what I meant. How come you're so obsessed with Tom Rayleigh?
It's not that I'm obsessed. Tom Rayleigh was an artist, just like me. Some of the objects in here are his works. But, as with all misunderstood geniuses, he had a devil inside. Some people claim that, in the midst of a drunken stupor, he could produce his best works. But once he was sober, he destroyed those works because he deemed them not to have been done by him. And I, being a misunderstood genius myself, now want to clear his image.
If you say so. And how do you think you can do that?
I'm trying to recover all the works left by the master. And in the meantime, I'm tracing Rayleigh's great-grandsons by delivering the only thing he left here in Bonetown.
His dignity?
No.
Money?
An artist with money? I don't think that's possible.
A toothbrush?
Don't joke about that. We artists are not interested in personal care.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm talking about that envelope.
What are the contents of the envelope?
I don't know. It's an official document classified by the police and kept here in the museum. It says for Rayleigh's heirs. I can't open it. It would go against my artist code of ethics.
And probably against some laws as well.
Yes. I'm looking for Rayleigh's heirs to deliver it. So I might know what happened to Rayleigh once he left Bonetown too.
Goodbye.
Yes. Goodbye.
Так он нам поверит? Интересно.
I don't think sticking them there would be useful. I don't think sticking them there would be useful. I don't think stick...
Так. Угу. Так, мы вернулись. Нам еще вот сюда вот можно зайти.
I think this is the town hall, and this is the entrance door. The upper floor seems to be condemned. The stairs don't seem safe. I don't want to risk hurting myself. These are stamps of Bonetown. Better ask for permission. I'd risk looking like a thief. What a weird globe. It's covered in notes.
I'm sorry, I'd prefer you not touch it. There's some important notes and I don't want to lose them.
Sure. There's a lot of disorder up there. I don't think that ransacking this paperwork will help me in any way. I think he's Steve Bonnet. He has aged fast. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. I'm sorry, do we know each other?
It's been a while, hasn't it, Uncle Steve?
Uncle Steve? There's only one child that called me that. It can't be. Willy, is that really you?
Yes, Steve, it's really me, Willy Morgan.
Son, how are you? Sorry if I don't get up, but my back is killing me.
Sitting here all day is bad for my health.
All good, Steve. Thank you.
Tell me, what brought you back to Bonetown? It's been years since the last time I saw you.
For the anniversary of my dad's disappearance. It's been 10 years. I was thinking of swinging by the cemetery.
Already 10 years? Time seems to have stopped in Bonetown since then. I sought refuge in my job to forget. I don't see your mother. Does she know you're here?
I told her I was leaving. She's away on a business trip.
How is she? I tried many times to contact you in recent years, but she never answered.
It was very tough for her too. She preferred to make a clean break from the past, concentrating on me and her job. Bonetown is a memory that still hurts a lot.
I understand.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Willy, and welcome back to Bonetown. I can't show you around, but for anything else, feel free to ask.
Thanks. Can I borrow a stamp?
Of course, as long as you use it responsibly. Even if they're dated back, they're the official stamps of Bonetown.
Thanks. I'll use them well.
Actually, when you're finished with your stuff, you can help me out with that stamp. I have a lot of paperwork to authenticate.
Gladly. How are things going here in Bonetown?
Not very well, I'd say. It's becoming harder and harder to run Bonetown. People leave, and the problems are constantly increasing.
I saw some construction work on the buildings.
That's one of the bigger problems in the city. It seems that our water resources are drying up. Some people say that upriver, certain companies have been doing excavations that caused the fracturing of some faults. I launched an investigation. There's no correlation. So I'm trying to solve the problem by recovering rainwater. And at the moment, it seems to be working.
I hope so for Bonetown. How are
The bigger water resources are drying.
You really...
I was born and raised here. I don't want it to stay like this.
How are things going here in Bonetown?
The bigger problem seems to be our water at the moment. The water resources are drying up. I'm investing my remaining finances and the last of the city's funds to get it back to its former state.
You really care a lot about Bonetown.
I was born and raised here. I don't want it to stay like this.
Do you remember what happened to my father?
It's always painful for me to talk about Henry. We grew up almost like brothers, before he decided to leave and become one of the most famous archaeologists in the world. Despite his work, he always found the time to come back here to the family, and to meet his old friends. Unfortunately, his disappearance is still shrouded in mystery. The night before that fateful day, we went out together. We said goodbye in front of the old inn, where he was staying. The next morning, I stopped by to say hello, but there was no trace of him. His room was intact. The innkeeper said he didn't see him going out. That's all I know. Since then, I've been racking my brain to understand what happened. Henry seems to have vanished into thin air.
Just like Mom always tells me. Do you, by any chance, know what Dad was working on?
I wouldn't know. Whenever he'd come to Bonetown, he told us fantastic stories of the places he explored. We felt like we were there with him.
Dad was always an exceptional narrator. When he told me a story before bed, I couldn't sleep right away, but instead spent a good part of the night fantasizing.
He used to do the same thing with us here in Bonetown. Everyone was enthralled by him.
See you later.
Come back whenever you want. You'll always find me here.
Thanks.
Так, давайте возьмем
I
печать.
might need one. I'll take the more worn one. It's an official stamp of Bonetown.
I'm sorry, I'd prefer you not touch it. There's some important notes and I don't want to lose them.
Sure.
Так, ну здесь вроде больше нечего делать, пошлите. Дальше.
It's full of every kind of bottle and vial. I don't even know if some are legal or not. Drugstore of Dr. Fred. Fred Every. It's the drugstore door. There are even some love potions and other remedies not known to science. It contains a lot of jelly beans. It only works with 5-cent coins. I better not. I don't want any trouble with the law. Better leave it where it is. Should I smash the window and take the contents? I don't see a reason yet.
Так, а здесь у нас что?
The sign says, "Welcome to the fabulous Bonetown new pub. It's by far the most modern thing I've ever seen here in Bonetown." The city extends.
Так, пошлите сюда.
If I'm not mistaken, it's Mendeleev's periodic table. Better not. I think the owner would be very upset. They seem delicious. I'd like to take some, but I spent the last of my money at the Dead Man Inn. They look like garden tools. I wonder why they are in here.
Hey. That is fragile instrumentation. You can't take it without authorization.
Excuse me, I thought it was available for customers.
No. It's extremely important equipment for my job. Only I can use it. Or whoever has my permission.
All right. It's a piece of paper with some writing on it.
I need it. I wrote down the ingredients I require to complete the recipe I'm working on.
I understand. He looks more like a scientist than a pharmacist. Good morning.
Good morning. What can I do for you?
I was just browsing.
No problem. But please don't touch anything without my permission. I've arranged everything so that it will make my work easier.
What work?
I'm developing a recipe that will make me rich. I just have to find the final ingredients.
Can I have some candies?
Unfortunately, I have to say no. The ones you see in the shop are needed to complete the recipe I'm working on, as well as for my livelihood.
I noticed.
If you have some pocket change, there's a candy vending machine right outside the shop. You can take as much as you want. It's only 5 cents for a candy.
Thanks a lot. What are you working on exactly?
It's a recipe of my own concoction for a new non-alcoholic drink. As soon as I find all the ingredients, I'll patent it. I've written everything I need on this piece of paper I found in the back room. There's still some ingredients missing to complete the recipe. Then I'm sure my life will take a turn, and I could say goodbye to Bow-Town.
Can I help you somehow?
Let me think. Maybe there's something you could do. I need to go to the warehouse to get some things I couldn't find anywhere else in town. But I need a specific plant that grows here in these surroundings. It's a plant with white flowers that only grows in places exposed to the sun, but also with enough moisture.
No problem. I'll see if I can pick one up and bring it to you.
No. It's extremely delicate. Any contact with the acids in human skin could ruin its essence. You should use specific instruments to pick it up and carry it. If you're willing to give me a hand, I can provide you with all you need.
What would I get in return?
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
Tremendously epic. All right.
Very well. Help yourself to the container and the trowel near the door. Once you've identified the plant, use the trowel to put it in the container.
I figured as much.
Thanks. It will also take me a while to find what I need in the warehouse. We'll meet back here.
All right. What's that piece of paper?
I honestly don't know. I was going through the back room when the new recipe suddenly hit me. I grabbed the first piece of paper I came across to write down the ingredients.
Can I see it?
I'd rather you not. Our sector is very competitive. If I let you read the ingredients, you could steal my recipe. I can give it to you after the recipe is completed, when I'll be sure nobody will copy my work.
Okay. Goodbye.
See you soon.
А богатство это будет в 5 центов, чтобы взять конфету.
When you find the plant with the white flowers, make sure to be as gentle as you can.
I'll do my best. I better be going now. The owner was clearly in a great hurry to leave.
Ну ладно, у нас уже время подходит к концу. И уже осматривать остаток города будем в следующей серии. На этом все. Ссылка на плейлист группы ВК в описании. Всем пока.